The internet's a weird one. They hold some of the most valuable data known to mankind, as in half the planet would literally not function if the internet was to disappear tomorrow. But it also holds some of the worst of humanity, like some very, very bad things that I'd get put on a watch list for even mentioning. Either way, the internet has changed everyone's lives, for better or for worse. But there are simply so many topics, I can't talk about them in such a short video. From things like piracy and emulation, the blurred lines between them, to the entire world of online gaming, which has blown up over the years. But the one topic I am here to talk about today is how the internet has changed media forever. I want you to think about the first movie or TV show you ever watched, whether it be The Matrix, or The Big Bang Theory, or the Postman Pat film, I don't know. Anyway, and now I want you to think about whether you watched it pre-internet or post-internet, which was roughly April 30th of 1993, where the WWW, or World Wide Web, announced that it was available to everyone, and the European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, put the web into the public domain. Now, I get that not everyone's old enough to answer this question, which includes me, by the way. I am not old enough to have seen original era internet and everything that was around then. To older people who were around then, I am a literal child who was just being born to this phenomenal world of internet, and I thought I grew up with it pretty young. Either way, how different do you think your experience would have been if you watched it either pre-internet or post-internet? How different do you think your thoughts on it might be? Hell, how different do you think the entire piece of media would be? I want to bring up an example quickly. I want to compare the 1995 movie Hackers to the 2015 to 2019 TV show Mr. Robot. One of them is a complete and utter train wreck that does not deserve any attention at all unless you're into bad films, to an incredibly loved and incredibly well-made TV show that it's just... oh, it's so good! I love this show to death. Hacking and the internet aren't even the show's main themes, but it's woven so incredibly well into all the story arcs and character moments, it feels like its own character. And it even does all the hacking accurately. Like, the amount of effort that went into this absolute gem of television is nothing but phenomenal. I could go on about this show just all day, but I'll leave it at this. One is just after the internet was created. The other is 22 years later. Now, 22 years sounds like a long time. Hell, I'm still a good bit away from even being 22 years old. But in the history of everything, 22 years is like me being sad for a couple of days that a new film by Edgar Wright was delayed again, and now I'm sad again, and I'm thinking about it again, and oh my... Streaming services have absolutely exploded over the last decade. We went from Blockbuster being at the top of media services with their physical rentable movies and video games, to Netflix and Disney and many others offering an incredible range of shows and movies for a couple of freedom bucks a month. These services changed the game, man. The idea of being able to slap your credit card on a recurring payment for each month and get to watch basically anything you want, at any time, at any place, at any quality, is basically magic. Growing up, I often stayed at my grand's house. Now, she is rather old-fashioned even to this day. She only has a CRT TV with nothing but Freeview, she has no internet to speak of, and she still uses a Nokia brick. Like, come on, why would you do that to yourself? Now, as a kid, the idea of staying there with no internet or TV or anything was the equivalent of being locked up and put in a straitjacket. So the idea of being able to download an episode of Doctor Who on a phone and watch it in the middle of nowhere would have blown my tiny child mind into multiple pieces. Now, streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus, and a whole range of others that would take me an eternity to cover, are only one aspect. You have websites like YouTube and Twitch and Mixer.com. Wait, what? Wait, Mixer shut down? Facebook gaming? All of these sites have something in common. Anyone, and I really mean anyone, can make their own content and media and send it out to the world. It's gotten to the point where people are making incredibly successful careers out of these websites, and they are some of, if not the most influential media stars and content creators out there at the moment. And I meant it when I said anyone can do it. One of my close personal mates is giving it his all and is doing incredibly well for the niche audience he's catering towards. This is what I mean when I talk about how the internet has changed media forever. It's no longer those who need experience or to be in a big company to make it in the media and online entertainment world now. With the introduction of the internet, anyone can sit down with a camera and just make a video on whatever they want. That as much effort as they put in, they can get as much experience as they want. Hold on a minute. I want to quickly mention this line from the movie Spree that came out in 2020.
If you're not documenting yourself, it's simple, you just don't exist.
I think one of the biggest downfalls in our internet media revolution is the need for attention. People go to insane lengths to be recognised, even if it's only for a short amount of time. Whilst the internet has caused a massive spike in media consumption and creation, and made an overall positive impact for this world, there are some very big issues that just cannot be ignored. But once again, that's a topic for another time. I hope this video shows people how insane the boom of the internet affected so many people, positively and negatively. Hell, without all of this happening before I was born, I probably wouldn't even be here editing this video right now.